What if a single piece of jewelry could carry the weight of history, whisper secrets of a dynasty, and send a message more powerful than any speech ever could? What if, pinned quietly to a queen's lapel, lay a story of legacy, love, and loyalty that most people walked right past without even knowing what they were looking at? Stay with me, because today we are unpacking one of the most emotionally loaded fashion moments in recent royal history, and trust me, by the end of this video, you will never look at a brooch the same way again. Welcome back, royal watchers, to Royal Chronicles, your home for the stories behind the crowns, the ceremonies, the jewels, and everything the palace doesn't put in the press release. If you are new here, we are so glad you found us. This channel is your front row seat to the world's most fascinating royal family. And if you have been here before, you already know we go deeper than the headlines. Before we dive in, please take a second to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, so you never miss a single royal moment. We drop new videos every week, and believe me, you do not want to be the last to know. Now, let's talk about that brooch. King Charles III and Queen Camilla's first official state visit to the United States was never going to be just a diplomatic trip. It was a statement. A carefully choreographed display of the new Caroline era, a monarchy that is aware of its past, but determined to define its future. From the moment Air Force One protocol was extended, to the Rose Garden reception, to the black tie state dinner, every detail was scrutinized. What was said? What was worn? Who stood where? But among all the glittering gowns and ceremonial regalia, eagle-eyed royal watchers spotted something remarkable resting on Queen Camilla's outfit, something small, something golden, something deeply, deeply significant. It was the Cartier Crossed-Flags Brooch. And it had not been seen since Queen Elizabeth II wore it. Let's talk about this piece, because it deserves its moment in the spotlight. The Cartier Crossed-Flags Brooch is an exquisite jewel, a delicate, masterfully crafted piece featuring two miniature flags rendered in gold and precious stones, crossing elegantly at the center. It is the kind of brooch that whispers rather than shouts, understated by royal jewel standards, and yet unmistakably regal when you know what you are looking at. Cartier, of course, is no stranger to royal jewelry boxes. The French luxury house has been crafting pieces for royalty for well over a century, and their work carries a prestige that goes beyond price tags. A Cartier piece in a royal collection is not just jewelry, it is history you can hold in your hand. The crossed flags design has long been associated with diplomacy and alliance, two nations, two standards, brought together in mutual respect. The symbolism, when you consider the occasion, is almost too perfect to be coincidental. Here is where the story gets truly moving. This brooch belonged to Queen Elizabeth II. She wore it on notable occasions, a monarch who understood better than almost anyone alive that jewelry was never merely decorative. For Elizabeth, every brooch, every necklace, every pair of earrings was a carefully chosen signal. She used her jewels the way diplomats use language, precisely, intentionally, and with layers of meaning beneath the surface. Royal historians and jewelry experts have long noted that Queen Elizabeth treated her jewel collection as a living archive of the monarchy's relationships with nations, with events, with people she loved. When she wore a piece, it meant something. So when Camilla stepped onto the world stage for her first United States state visit as Queen Consort and chose this brooch from Elizabeth's collection, the message reverberated instantly through royal circles. This was not an accident. Nothing at this level ever is. Queen Camilla has, over the past several years, been carefully and thoughtfully stepping into the role of queen in a way that honors the past while carving out her own identity. She has borrowed from the late Queen's collection on select, meaningful occasions, and each time she does, it generates both warmth and conversation. Choosing the Crossed Flags Brooch for the U.S. state visit was a masterstroke of soft diplomacy. The flags themselves speak of unity between nations. The brooch's origin speaks of continuity, a living link between Queen Elizabeth's long reign and the new chapter now being written by Charles and Camilla. It says, quietly but unmistakably, we honor what came before. We carry it with us. And we bring it here, to you. For an American audience, a nation with a deeply complicated but undeniably fascinated relationship with the British monarchy, seeing Camilla wear Elizabeth's brooch on American soil carried enormous emotional weight. It was a nod of respect. A gesture of connection. A reminder that some things endure beyond any one reign. King Charles's first U.S. state visit was always going to be historic. But it is moments like this, a quiet jewel pinned to a lapel, carrying decades of history that remind us why royal pageantry still captures the world's imagination. In an era of instant news and disposable moments, the monarchy deals in something slower, deeper, and more enduring. Symbolism, legacy, storytelling through tradition. And on that front, Queen Camilla delivered not with a grand speech or a sweeping gesture, but with a brooch that most of the room didn't even notice. But we noticed. And now you do too. That is the story of the Cartier Crossed-Flags Brooch and why its quiet reappearance on Queen Camilla's lapel during the U.S. state visit was one of the most powerful royal moments of the year. If you loved this video, give it a thumbs up, it truly helps this channel grow. Share it with a fellow royal fan who would appreciate every detail of this story. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Royal Chronicles because we have so many more stories just like this one waiting for you. Until next time, keep watching, keep wondering, and remember, in the royal world, nothing is ever just jewelry. See you in the next one.